Hello, thank you for being here today. My name is Tess Protesto. You are watching PTZOptics and HuddleCam HD Live. You can find us live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. We've got a very exciting show today, bringing on another guest for you guys. My good friend Gary Buchanan of BoxCast is going to be joining us today to talk about software and hardware encoders. This is a live show, so we want to remind you to say hello in the chat. Let me know where you're from, ask any questions you may have. We want to interact with you. To get things started off today, I am going to propose a Would You Rather question. Let's get the engagement started in the chat. Let me know, would you rather, and we're going techie this time, in terms of file or cable management, the question is, would you rather commit to a constant disarray in cable management or a constant disarray of file management on your computer? So for all you techie AV people out there, what's worse, disarray in cable management or disarray in file management? I know Michael and I particularly come from more of a design background, so I might say file management. What do you say, Mike?
Definitely going to say cable management.
Is worse?
Well, no, file management is worse. I'd
File
rather have my
management is worse, yeah.
files all organized and ready to go. I'd rather have the cables just like everywhere.
What about you, Lindsay? I know this is maybe a bit of a foreign topic to you, but what do you think sounds worse?
I wouldn't like the look of the cables.
The actual physical messiness.
Yeah, the physical messiness.
Let us know in the chat, what's worse, file management disarray or cable management disarray? And let me know what you're thinking. Thank you, everybody, for telling me where you're from. We've got Georgia in the house. We've got UK in the house. We have India. We have Indiana. And we got some answers coming in for the would you rather. Lawrence is saying, too OCD, can't handle either. So you can't even commit to one. That's how OCD you are? Fair enough. Vivek says file management would be worse. Disarray in file management or disarray in cable management? If you're just joining us, let us know which is worse. South Salem Presbyterian Church says, I just hide my cables behind everything. That's kind of my style too. I am not the one to be the most organized. Tammy says file management is worse. I'm surprised. David Geckler, you're saying file management is worse? I'm shocked by that. And same with our friends at Epiphan. I would think all the AV people will be saying cable management's worse. When we do bring our guest on, we're going to get his opinion on that as well. Let's dive into a couple housekeeping things today. Starting things off, if you're just hopping on, we are live right now. Today we're talking about hardware and software encoding options with our friends at BoxCast. A couple other live shows that we do produce here that you're going to want to check out. We offer the Tech Town Hall, a tech roundtable featuring some industry experts, a lot of which are from our company. Good chance to get some Q&A in with them. That is the third Friday of the month at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. After that, you're going to want to check out Salt Talk. That is our House of Worship themed live show for sound and lighting technology, all dedicated to House of Worship. That is the last Tuesday of the month at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you check out our YouTube and Facebook channels to learn more about those shows. What do we have on next? Trade shows are back. We are going to be at the NAB show in April. If you're going to be there in person, we're going to be at booth N738. If you're not going to be there in person, it's okay. We're still going to bring you along for the ride virtually through social media and live streams straight from the show floor. So if you want to register, whether you're going in person for, let's say, we have a free pass, if you want to get in the show and give a free pass, or if you want to register for our live show content, giveaways that we're going to be doing there, go to ptzoptics.com/NAB. Linz, if you wouldn't mind putting that in the chat for our friends, make sure that they can register for NAB content. Once again, welcome you guys. If you're joining us on Facebook or YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, follow, all that great stuff. We are on Twitter and LinkedIn and Instagram as well. Show us some love if you're enjoying this content. If you want to hear from some like-minded individuals and get questions answered, you might want to consider joining our Facebook user groups. We have quite a few. We have an OBS user group. We have our PTZOptics dedicated user group, which is great for support questions. And we also have a user group dedicated to church streaming. That's what actually gave me the idea to do the show today and to start our relationship up with BoxCast, because we do share a lot of customers in the live streaming space and specifically house of worship. So if you're part of that industry, you're definitely going to want to tune in today. Wrapping things up, we are going to head over to Miss Lindsay Pope, my wonderful co-host, for a social media update. I got to do another one for her. You got her? Here she is.
Hello, and welcome back to another segment of Share Your Vision. I'm Lindsay Pope, and I'm the social media producer. So we have a picture from Matt Hand, and Matt shared his vision after working on a local school project. They had 2 streams, one in English and one in Spanish. They streamed a Zoom feed for public testimony, as well as the board members that needed to join remotely. Thank you, Matt, again for sharing your vision. Keep tagging us and using the hashtag #ShareYourVision so then you could possibly be featured on the show.
Thank you, Lindsay. Well done, miss. We have
Thank you,
audio
thank
this
you.
time. If you want to catch our flubs,
Yeah.
don't forget to check out last week's show. All right, let's dive into today's content. Without further ado, Mr. Gary Buchanan, Professional Services Manager. Is that the correct title, Gary?
That's it. Pro Services Manager.
Awesome. And pro you are indeed. I know we got a lot of people here looking for some professional help. So why not just throw your name out there as the one to go to for all your professional needs in streaming?
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is in my title, right? So we kind of have to play onto it.
Yeah, the pressure's on now. So no,
Oh,
we're
yeah,
going to have
totally.
some fun. So to start things
Absolutely.
off, the would you rather? What's worse, bad file management or bad cable management?
Yeah, that's a good question. I see cable management being worse. You can trip on cables and they're just grossly disgusting and nasty looking everywhere. I mean, you just can't trip over a file, right? So I can do more of a search in a computer for a file than I can search for a cable. So I'd rather have cable management be my preferred method.
I think that is a game-changing point right there. The actual physical safety hazard that bad cable management can have, that might make that take precedent over file management. So good point there.
Thanks. Yeah. Plus, I don't like crawling on the ground looking for a specific cable, so
Absolutely not.
just makes it easier.
So to dive into today's content, I thought we would start off with just a brief introduction about BoxCast for anybody who's new to the company. Tell us a little bit about your products and services.
Yeah, for sure. So here at BoxCast, we are a very flexible live streaming platform that helps connect people with anybody in their community or family members or friends, and we like to reach those people who can't attend events. And so BoxCast really does make that easier. And our motto at BoxCast is we like to make people part of the experience. It's one of the things our founders founded back in 2013. And so with that, we offer a very unique blend of hardware products and software products and platforms that help pretty much anyone in any space, in any market, and any available live streaming platform system to live stream through. Primarily, we offer a bunch of different softwares from our dashboard to our Boxcaster app. And then, of course, our Boxcaster itself with Boxcaster Pro and our scoreboard assist products for anybody who's in the athletic space or college space that needs some scoreboards overlaid into their graphics. So a wide range, a very unique blend of different services and products available.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a loaded question because based on our conversations, there's a lot of different solutions for a lot of different problems. And it really depends on the independent needs of the customer, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you'll find that there's, between the needs of like me, for example, I do live streaming all the time, but I may need to live stream my kid's soccer match. Or maybe there's an event somewhere from our church. Each individual setup is going to be requiring a different tool. And that's kind of the cool thing about being on today is we're going to talk about some of those tools and what best fits where. So
definitely. And I had mentioned during the beginning of the show that I was really inspired to reach out to you guys. And I knew that we had to work together when I saw how many of our customers were using BoxCast products in collaboration with our PTZ cameras. So I thought we could sort of get the ball rolling today with talking about our particular integration and in the ways that you can pair a PTZOptics pan-tilt zoom camera with some of the BoxCast encoders along with the BoxCast platform. And maybe we can tie in a little bit of the end user needs into that conversation. If we can start by talking about the two encoders, the hardware pieces. If we start
Sure.
with the BoxCaster, maybe we can talk about who that product is for.
Yeah, absolutely. So our BoxCaster is, as you can see here, you can't really get it justified on a screen, like our website provides, but it's almost just a tad bit bigger than a set of deck of cards, and it offers a wide varied range of inputs for pretty much any of the common users who are using some hardware cameras, video switchers, and that nature. So this product is really tied to someone who needs to have encoding offloaded from a separate PC. And that would be if you needed to, have one camera setup or a multicam setup using some sort of video switcher product, or anything that would need to be, multiple sources coming into a video feed. This will help you with that process by using a video switcher in context. But the end user and goal in mind with this is someone who wants to get started relatively fast, has already had the hardware and equipment already set up, ready to go in their production workflow. And it offers quite a varied bit of options here. It does have Wi-Fi. Whoops, I almost dropped that. It does offer Wi-Fi and a hardwired Ethernet connection inside of it. So you can do either or. So there's really no need for a separate PC at that point. I don't have our BoxCaster Pro, but that thing is a monster. Is huge. And so it's like this big. It's really big. And that's more for pro setups. Anybody who's running maybe full-blown XLR connections or a high-end switcher. And it has a video screen built onto it. So you can actually see your broadcasts in live view. You can see audio graphs and how everything's being managed, and that way viewership on there. But that's more for more production on a pro scale, bigger end churches or government entities that are needing to have a huge setup, but they need an offloaded encoder. The cool thing about the BoxCaster itself, especially with this one, is that it does 1080p 30 natively right off the bat. It'll accept a 1080p 60 in video input. So you can pretty much any camera you can use with this, as long as it's 1080p 60 output framed, and a varied amount of different frame rates. And then our BoxCaster Pro can accept 4K 60 signals and output 1080p 60. So we cover a very large range of resolutions and formats and frame rates within that. So for an end user, really any of our products can fit an end user in any scope and space. For example, I use our BoxCaster Pro and our BoxCasters for our church. And then when I'm doing maybe some live mobile events, soccer streaming, I use our Broadcaster app, which is a free app that anyone can download and get started for free using the BoxCast platform.
Yeah, and you mentioned the BoxCaster first. You can bring one of our cameras and via HDMI into that and stream directly out to Facebook, as somebody's saying right here, or YouTube, or really any destination that you're looking for. But when you're looking for that more higher quality production setup, we got a question for you from James looking for SDI. Would that be the Pro then?
Yeah, the Pro would be an excellent product pairing for SDI because it accepts both HDMI and SDI inputs. So and those are, I believe those are 12G inputs. So you can route all kinds of SDI into it using whatever available equipment you have, including direct from a camera.
That's awesome. And we've been able to verify compatibility with our cameras with both of those products, as well as the BoxCast platform. So where did those products tie in with the platform or differentiate from us?
Yeah, that's a great question. So our BoxCasters, both the Pro and the regular BoxCaster, as well as our Broadcaster app, tie into our BoxCast platform. And it is a dashboard-based system, web-based, that gives you full control over every piece of the parts that you would need for live streaming, from pre-production all the way to post. And so with that, they tie in, and they're specifically designed to work with the actual BoxCast dashboard. They are not designed to work outside of the BoxCast dashboard, but we also accept our TMP protocol inputs. So if you have an encoder of your own, like web presenter from Blackmagic or maybe OBS, Wirecast, vmix, and you want to stream RTMP, we do accept those in as well. And so with that in tow, using our software platform for our dashboard, you can easily manage, maintain, edit, and set up any kind of web-based streaming to pretty much any platform out there. So we have Facebook integrations. We have YouTube integrations. We're considered developers with both. And you can then stream directly to them and even manage posts directly from that. And then if you wanted to stream to Twitch, maybe you're a gamer and you want to set that up and you really want to live stream using a multi-based platform, we can accept Twitch output through our other RTMP destination setups. So we are a multifaceted system that gives you the ability to stream to endless destinations seamlessly.
Yeah, we were interested when we first started talking to you with the RTMP stream out, excuse me, into the BoxCast platform from the IP feed from our cameras. And we do have a support article that you guys were kind enough to write, which takes step-by-step directions for any of our customers who want to try that, which I'm going to put in the description here. I'll put it in the chat for now if you want to. There's a video component to it as well if you're looking for how to use the RTMP stream with our cameras and the BoxCast platform. We're already getting a lot of questions in for you, Gary. I want to make sure that we cover these. Will there be a BoxCaster model with 4K output?
Yeah, that's a great question. So BoxCast, and I can't really give you any heads up as to when that may be available, but BoxCast right now with our BoxCaster Pro, that's what we're designed to do here in the future. Right now, there aren't any live streaming platforms that are doing 4K out, as a base platform. We would love to get to that point, and in the future, we definitely will get to that point. But as of right now, there's not very much that we can do about that until the market's ready for it.
Yeah, we have a similar conversation with a lot of our customers, and it's hard to say the when and if customers are able to support 4K streaming and things like that. There's a lot of considerations there for sure.
Oh yeah, 4K is definitely future. I mean, we've got 4K TVs, we've even got 8K monitors. Like we got all this crazy stuff out there. That's you put a K behind it, and we're gonna have it. So and BoxCast, we are poised to go in that direction, and we are excited to go in that direction. We just have to get there. So.
We've got some more friends in the chat. Our friends at Epiphan are saying we have a fair number of customers using our encoders with BoxCast as their CDN, and they love it. I love to see us all working together.
We love Epiphan too. Hi, Epiphan. Call me.
Call me. That's so funny. What about streaming with multiple cameras? Because we have a lot of customers that are doing multi-camera streams, and I know you have those single inputs into those encoders. How can I integrate a multiple camera solution in there?
Fair question, Tess. Yeah. So the best thing about BoxCast is we like to tote ourselves as being the end of the platform. So we're at the end of your line of your production setup. That's why we have a single input for video and audio. Okay. So if you're wanting to do a multi-camera setup or a multi-cam stream using anything from PTZOptics that is compatible, or any camera that you would have available, that's where a video switcher with output is the best solution. I can recommend straight off the A10 Mini. Is probably my favorite video switcher. It's very easy to use, and it works extremely well with both the BoxCaster and BoxCaster Pro. But I have clients, and I've had clients that use maybe a Roland VH1 or V2 HD or even an SDI version of that, and then they just convert it over. It's very simple to do, and we accept the video formats pretty easily. I've had clients, and you're going to love this, Tess. I've had clients that have used HDMI switchers that maybe you've seen these in the past, where you'd have maybe 2 inputs on your TV and you have like 6 HDMI compatible devices, and you're using a video, you're clicking the button HDMI 1, 2, 3, 4. I've had clients who have, when they first started, because they were on a tighter budget, they've used that, and we've seen that happen. Yeah. It was an interesting use case, right? It was an interesting use case, but they eventually moved up to a video switcher that they were able to afford, and it really, really changed the way that they did video switching. But yes, a video switcher is going to be your main component for multicam solution.
Okay, that's great to know. And I did see we had a customer post a whole diagram with our cameras into the ATEM and then into the BoxCaster. And I should have brought that into the stream because I thought that was pretty cool. It was helpful to see how our products can work together too. What about destination options? I know we can go to Facebook or YouTube out of the BoxCast platform. What are some creative or interesting destinations that we can add on there?
Yeah, for sure. So we have clients who are streaming to almost anywhere that accepts RTMP outbound. So if they can accept an RTMP ingestion into their platform, we do it. Restream.io, StreamYard, anything that's going to accept an RTMP, we can outbound that very easily. The other cool places that you would see would be like OTT apps. Okay. So BoxCast has and every customer gets this. Doesn't matter what plan you're on with us, but every customer automatically gets the ability to be featured inside of the BoxCast app for Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. So all you have to do is just check box to box, add some graphics, and you're going to be inside of our app within a few hours. And so you could have viewers actually view. But we also have custom branded app options as add-ons to our service that you can go ahead and purchase inside, and we develop a branded app for you that is specific to Apple TV and to Roku. So we have a lot of different integration options there as well. But primarily what you see nowadays is a lot of people are streaming to, host CDN services, or maybe they're going to Facebook and YouTube directly. And that's where we see a lot of the bread and butter come through with social destinations. But with any of our RTMP outbounds, no problem. We can stream endlessly to anywhere.
I like the custom app one. I thought that was pretty cool. Chatting
Yeah,
about that.
I like building them, so they're great.
Yeah, that's really cool. Samuel on Facebook is saying, what features should you look for when buying encoders for live streaming? And is there any way of saving your live stream video as an MJPEG file, MPEG-4 file, or giving people an option to download it once it's done?
A great question. Yeah.
That's a big question.
So let's start. Yeah, it's a big question. Let's start with the first half. What should you look for in an encoder? Well, first and foremost, I think user easy ability would be my first suggestion. Like, is it easy for you to use? Do you require such a third, fourth master's degree to understand how to get inside of it and actually how to set it up, right? So if it's not easy to use, it's not easy to connect, and you don't understand how and what settings do what, that would be the first thing I would recommend. And with BoxCast, since we're featured here, it's really easy with BoxCast. You simply just plug in your HDMI, you plug in your internet, you plug in your audio, and you put power to the bad boy, and you can schedule through the BoxCast dashboard. No settings needed right off the bat. So the second thing I would say with that is, does the encoder you're looking at buying, does it accept the input that your camera or camera systems or your workflow is going to be using? So if it uses SDI out, how are you going to convert that to something that only uses HDMI, right? Or if it's using NDI, for example, which is an awesome solution, does the encoder offer NDI input support? Now, I can tell you that with the BoxCasters in the BoxCast platform, we only accept those hard physical connections. If you're going to use NDI, you're going to want to use a software encoder like OBS, wirecast, vmix that can accept an NDI signal and then translate that over to RTMP and send it outbound. So those are the two biggest things I would say. For me personally, how much space does this bad boy take up? That's a big one for me. Our BoxCaster Pro is about twice the size of this in thickness and in actual, physical dimension. And so is it easy for me to put it into our workflow where it's not going to A, be in the way, but B, is easily access and to get to it? And, we talked about cable management being, the preferred thing that I would rather deal with than file management.
Sure.
And so with that, that's the third one. The cool thing about these, though, with the BoxCasters themselves, is that they're extremely light and portable, and they're made out of a durable plastic casing. So they're not going to break very easily.
You can drop that bad boy. Accidentally, of course.
Yeah, dropping it, you'll be okay. The Pro, I wouldn't drop that as much because A, it would hurt on your foot, but B, it's a lot heavier product, so it's definitely going to be a little bit more in the damage space. But these are very easy to portable to take with you to any venue or to any event that you have to live stream, that you have all the necessary required pieces to that puzzle. So I would definitely recommend those four tips being the thing that I would look for in an encoder. Now, if you ask me, Tess, maybe you should ask me, am I a hardware encoder man or am I a software encoder man?
Oh, that would have been a great would you rather for this show.
Oh.
Darn it.
Hey, listen, I'm setting up your next show for you. I would say I am a mixture of both. I lean more hardware encoder just because I like off-putting all the processes and the required, resources that are needed onto a hardware encoder. But software encoders, especially for NDI input, are fantastic, and they've been getting better and better, with the years as they go through. So definitely a big support out there for software encoders as well for user communities. So that would be the answer to that one. Now, what was the second part of that question, Tess? I'm sorry.
Let me go back here. Oh, the MPEG-4 file.
Yeah, download. Yeah. So with BoxCast,
download.
Every account gets the ability to download and an MP4, and you can download that in multiple ways. So you can download that whether it just be a video file, an audio file. If you wanted to export that over to YouTube or even Vimeo, we have a Vimeo integration that you can send it over to.
Oh,
so
nice.
you can download that at any moment. And the cool thing with BoxCast is that when you download that, we also do provide a download link for a very short available time. So if you needed to send it to somebody for a quick video view, or they needed to download it as well, you can send that link over with ease. But the other neat thing is that we offer what's known as a re-upload system. So it's what we call replacement broadcast. So if you download the video and you're like, I want to make some adjustments and make some kind of tweaks to that video, add some graphics or whatever in post, you can take that MPEG-4 video file, download it, make your edits, save it, and re-upload it as a replacement video. And what that'll do is it holds the placeholder inside of your archives. So you're only replacing the video for that broadcast.
Thanks, George, saying he has to run. He's saying bye to us, Gary.
Bye.
I wanted to mention I do have the Boxcaster Pro up here for anybody wondering size, form factor, or what the thing looks like. I do have an image here because we do have PTZOptics.com/Boxcast if you want to learn more about our particular integration. And since we're talking about downloading and some of the video capabilities within the Boxcaster platform, I have a question for you here from Victor. Adding an overlay to your stream. Can we cover this?
Yeah. So Victor, adding overlays to the broadcast stream is done in two ways. One, you would use a video switcher, which is my preferred method only because I have a lot of graphic overlays. But with BoxCast, if you're just getting started and you need a very decent, easy to use overlay system, we have that as available as well. Now, I will say that the overlay system is not graphics motion, so you're not going to have any motion graphics inside of that. It's all going to be still imagery. So if you only needed to have maybe a go live at the top corner of your broadcast, or a logo, maybe even just a quick lower third on the bottom for some kind of title or information, you can totally do that inside of the BoxCast dashboard, which means you don't have to leave the dashboard. You don't have to leave your production area to go fiddle with another piece of equipment or another software. You can do it right inside of BoxCast.
That's awesome. Something that
I like what Jay says there.
Oh, been using BoxCaster for 3 years in different locations. Great. He likes a trimming feature.
Yeah, trimming's cool. Yeah. So the trimming feature is really neat because it gives us the ability to maybe trim off the beginning or the end of a broadcast that you really didn't like so much. And so you can actually very easily trim that to where you want it. And I've done that several times because maybe there's some moments where you go live and you switch over and all of a sudden you're seeing, your pastor standing there walking around in circles, right? Yeah, you don't want to see that. So let's trim it. So we use that trim feature quite often, and it's a really cool, easy way. The even cooler part about that test is that the trim feature is non-destructive. So it doesn't actually trim the video that was uploaded into the dashboard. It literally just adds a beginning marker and an ending marker. So you can go in at any time and change that. Even more so, once you've trimmed a file, you can download that file trimmed. So we give you that ability too.
Oh, nice. You know what I never asked? Is this Mac or PC or both?
It's web-based, so it can be any.
Okay, that makes sense. Good to know. That's definitely a big one. So you're Mac or PC. Good for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm personally a Mac guy, but
we're
this
PC
isn't about
all
me.
The way over here.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can tell. That's okay.
Ooh. What?
Is that a dig?
Oh, because you still like Mac, right?
Oh no, he said that he can tell
Oh, he can
that
tell.
we're Windows.
I can tell.
or-
Well,
Yeah,
the
Windows.
imagery in the back, the with the website in the back on the screen is all Windows based, right? Because I remember seeing the menu bar up.
Yes, that's true. So you've seen it. Okay. What we haven't covered yet, it's a huge topic, is audio.
Yeah.
I saw
Oh,
some audio options on the BoxCaster you have there. How can we get audio into our stream using your products?
Great question. Audio is like, it's my candy. Like, some people like ice cream, some people like, candy, some people like bread.
Me.
I'm an audio.
I'm definitely a bread
I'm an
gal.
audio kid. Yeah. I love audio. So with Boxcasters, with our hardware encoders, audio is just as easy as it is to get started with video. So within our Boxcaster, regular one here, we offer the RCA connections that you can have converted from maybe a third-party source, or maybe you're putting it in from a mixer of some sort. And then also with the HDMI input, we offer embedded audio. Where it really gets kind of cool is when you go to our Boxcaster Pro. And our Boxcaster Pro offers two mono-channel XLR to quarter-inch combo jacks. So you
I
can get
see.
really fine-tuned, really fine-tuned from like an actual stereo console coming out. Maybe you're coming out from like an A10, TV producing switcher, and it's got XLR outputs. You're going natively XLR to XLR. And so that's really the cool part of how to bring audio in. And of course, with the Pro, you can do SDI embed and HDMI embed on the audio.
Okay.
The neat thing, though, Tess, is with these two encoders is we offer what we call cloud gain control. And so with Boxcaster, with the regular Boxcaster, inside of the Boxcast dashboard, you can actually control the box's gain settings by adding or taking away dB inside for the box. Now with the Pro, you have the ability to use the on-screen display that has analog gain controls there. And with the Pro, it also offers phantom power, which is really cool because I've used it before on an offsite project and didn't have a console. So we plugged the microphone right into the Boxcaster and put phantom power to it.
Eric would like to know, do you have audio lip syncing options?
That's a good question. So audio lip syncing, are we talking like Milli Vanilli?
I guess like an audio delay, maybe?
Like a delay? So
That's my
Boxcast
assumption.
actually, yeah, I think I'm with you on that. I just wanted to see maybe if you had a little more clarification. Eric, that's a great question. With
Oh, we got
Boxcast,
BoxCast in the chat
actually,
too, helping with that.
yeah. So look, see, I didn't know you guys were in there. Hey, friends. So, so we don't have lip syncing control, but the Boxcaster and Boxcaster Pro actually listen for the audio, and as they encode, they listen for the markers that are in placement. So you're going to notice that if you have a lot of audio equipment in play and you're processing that audio pretty heavily into the Boxcaster, you're going to have to look at maybe what that delay is and kind of adjust for it. But on the front side of that, the Boxcaster should do a pretty decent job on its own.
We're getting some questions about purchasing options. Do you sell kits, or are each of these independent, or does one come with the other?
Great question. Yeah. So I'll start with just how would you get started with Boxcast and where purchasing begins and how it works. So with Boxcast, you can go to boxcast.com and click on try for free. We give you a 14-day free trial, and that's if you want to jump in and just take a look at the dashboard. If you want to explore what streaming looks like with our system, set up integrations, do a couple test streams. From there, you can then get in contact with any one of our account executives who then would take care of you by getting you set up with purchasing the dashboard system. Now, the Boxcasters are all separate purchases. They're add-ons because there are a lot of people who want to just stream from what they already have. And if they're using OBS or if they're using maybe Wirecast or vmix or any of the outbound RTMP software encoders, you're going to have a really good fit very easily setting that up and adding the source. If you need the Boxcaster, which we highly recommend because the Boxcasters offer some additional features such as diagnostics for your stream. to see exactly how much you're pushing and how much is going out and what the video quality is like, as well as automated scheduling and start-stop. So with the BoxCaster, when you schedule, it'll start and stop all by itself. You don't have to hit a physical button inside of a software to do it. So adding the BoxCaster is very easy to do at the time of when you purchase your account, or if you decide to move to one later, all you have to do is just get in touch with either our technical support team or with a client manager, and they'll take care of getting one out to you. So purchasing is extremely easy. We make it very simple, but we do offer that 14-day free trial, and we highly recommend that anybody who's interested in BoxCast try that 14-day free trial. You're going to be impressed, I promise.
We just linked to it in the chat as well for those of you
Sweet.
who are interested in visiting their website. And if you want to learn more about PTZOptics integration, you have ptzoptics.com/boxcast. But if you want to learn more about BoxCast offerings, you're definitely going to want to visit the site that we just linked to. All right. You know what I wanted to do? Before we wrap things up today, we heard whispers that you guys got a new studio.
Yeah, we're excited about that. I love it. It's so cool looking. And when you and you know, if you were able to see it, I think you're going to show a video, right?
We're going to show video.
Yeah, there's a really cool camera we have in the background. I love it. And our video producers who made that studio what it looks like it's a really cool camera. It's really sweet. It's a really cool decoration.
And since we're on this topic, what do you use the studio for? What is your content that you guys produce?
Yeah, we plan on using that studio for a lot of different content between our tech tips, our BoxCast podcast, which I'm going to put a plug in. You can find that on Apple and Spotify and Google Podcasts. And you can even find our video version of it here on YouTube. Just search the BoxCast channel. But we plan on using that for any kind of customer education and training that we have available, any kind of product announcements, you know, any interviews and things that we do. So we're pretty much going to use that all the time. And, you know, some of our producers even use it for an office. So it's kind of funny. But yeah, it's a really cool studio. We're very, very proud to have a unique space that we can produce awesome content and help our clients learn and be more enabled for their live streaming needs.
You guys inspired us. I believe next week we are going to be doing a behind the scenes tour of our studio for our live show next Wednesday. So to gear up for that, let's get some inspiration. Michael, you ready with that clip? Yay.
What's up, guys? We've got a brand new podcast studio. We're really excited to show it to you. Let's take a look at some of the gear we use and how we produce it. So what we have set up today is specifically for podcasts, but the beauty of this room is it gives us a ton of versatility to create different sets. We can produce our tech tips videos and webinars over here, and we can get a completely different look by shooting into the brick wall over here. On the other side, we can completely pivot and face out towards the office with this giant window. That gives us a better feel of what office life is like at BoxCast, and it's great for culture content. For live producing our podcast, we're using a Canon C70 for our A camera, and then we've got two R6s to the side for our B cameras. The C70 acts as our wide shot, and the two R6s get close-ups of both of our hosts. We really love the C70 because internally we can record up to 4K 60, and it gives us a nice, clear cinematic image. And we can also plug it into AC power and let it run all day. We wanted a camera that would be a good hybrid for both post-produced content and our live shows. The C70 can definitely do both. Our B cameras are Canon's EOS R6, and they give us similar picture quality to the Canon C70. They are missing some basic functionality that work well for live podcasts and longer form content, one of them being battery life. Mirrorless cameras like the R6 don't have great battery life, so you need to mod them to make them work as studio cameras. We put a battery pack on the bottom of them, but the battery can be run on AC power also, so you can just leave it plugged in. Lastly, and this is the only thing to consider if using a mirrorless camera, is that they do output over micro HDMI, which will only give you about 15 feet of cable run, and then you have to convert it. So we are converting our HDMI output to a decimator to run into our switcher via SDI. So the three mics we'll be using, you've seen them before in past episodes, are Shure MV7s. They're super easy to use, they can output to a mixer, they can plug right into your computer, and they sound amazing. If you're looking for an all-around podcast mic, this is the perfect fit for you. So lights can get really, really expensive very quickly. We were looking for something that could fill up the room, give us a soft, nice glow, without having to completely break the bank. That's why we went with Amaron 100X bicolor LEDs. They're fairly straightforward. They allow you to warm and cool. They're very easy to use. In addition, to get that nice soft glow that we were looking for, we bought an aperture lantern to attach to the front of it. Now, specifically for the podcast, we actually have a program monitor here, so everybody that's actually hosting can see when they're live, what shot they're on, and even if we have PowerPoint, we can overlay it here too to reference the slides. Now, here's a hot tip. When we were speccing out this room, we had a hole cut in the wall so we could route all our cabling to our rack on the other side. In our past studio, we used to have to run cabling under the door or cram it, or try to find some weird way to go up and over the room, and it just was a nightmare. So you can see it all runs through one place. It's a little bit of a mess right now, but we're gonna clean it up later. Oh, you might be wondering, what's our fourth camera? Well, it's a little bit too complex to explain right now. We still haven't figured out what to do with it, but Wade bought it on Craigslist. So right here outside the studio, we have a production hub where a director can see what's happening in there, and he can control everything all from one spot. We also give him the ability to have his own camera just in case he wants to chime in during the podcast. Here we've got ATEM software control, which we are able to apply graphics, switch camera angles, and adjust audio levels from. We have our multi-view monitor here where we can look at all of our angles. Right now it's a little bit empty. Here we have our BoxCaster Pro, which we like to put right under the ATEM software control because it allows you to monitor stream diagnostics and make sure your stream is healthy. Right next to the director's table, we actually have our switcher, our HyperDeck recorder, and a surge protector with 6 outlets on the front and 6 on the back. This gives us the ability to run all our cabling in one spot, and it's a little bit cleaner out here than if we had everything in the studio space. So that's just a brief overview of all the gear we've had set up today, but if you want a deeper dive, take a look at the kit link we have in the description. It'll show you every piece of equipment we're using to produce this today. If you have any questions or you want to dive deeper, let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and happy streaming.
Wow. That was incredible.
That was fun.
Well, yeah, I totally did. I totally forgot about the media port thing.
That was hilarious. And talk about cable management. It's the theme today. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to be building a new studio this summer because we're moving buildings. So seeing videos like that is really helpful to see what other people are doing and get some inspiration from that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, we're glad we can help you out with that inspiration. And if you need me to make any name recommendations, just let me know. Okay.
Yeah, I will. And then we'll give you credit just like you did in that video. And I like
Perfect.
the fun little edits that they had. With
Caught me off guard.
Yeah, with the overlays. I know. We need to do more of that with
I
our little
cracked up.
marketing vids.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
That's Josh and Wade for you.
They're fun, huh? So let's see what we have here. As we wrap things up today, I do want to remind you guys in the chat, if you have any lingering questions for Gary or the BoxCast team, let us know. If you want to hang on for just a few more minutes here, Gary, I'm happy to chill and see if we get any more questions.
For sure. Yeah. I'm more than happy to be here too. Yeah.
Dean is saying, can you post the link to the BoxCast equipment here? So what was that? Kit.com? Let's see.
Kit.co.co/BoxCast.
Is this a website where you can link to all the products that you use and things? Yeah. Oh.
Yep.
I think
I
we
got
had. I think. Is that this website where anybody can link like their projects and the products that they're using? Is that what this
Yeah.
is?
So, yep. It's just an easy system for us to put in anything that we use and put it in, and then share out one link and make sub containers for stuff that we do specifically. Yeah. So kit.co/BoxCast.
David says, looks like a franking camera on the wall. That was fun.
I told you that camera was awesome, and of
It's
course,
huge.
Wade and his Craigslist finds.
That's so funny. And if people want to learn more or get in touch with you guys, is it just boxcast.com?
Yeah, they can reach us at boxcast.com. If you're a current subscriber, you can go to support.boxcast.com for any support articles. The cool thing is that we have chat availability right inside of the BoxCast dashboard and on our website. So if you're just looking to get help or get some questions answered, or you're looking for some specific things, whether you're a new person, an actual subscriber, or somebody just looking for information, you can pretty much reach us in any one of those areas.
I guess that wraps it up for us today. Gary, thank you so much for joining us. It was a great show having you on.
Yeah, I really am grateful. Thank you so much to Tess and Michael and Lindsay and, of course, PTZOptics. We're so proud to be part of your guys' family, and you're part of our family. So much appreciated.
Your friends at BoxCast are saying we're making kits for PTZ cameras soon. Okay,
Yes,
you better.
yep.
Whoop, whoop.
Yep, we are. I can't speak for whoever's controlling our chat feed there, but yeah, we definitely will be.
And if you're ever looking for podcast guests, you know where to find us.
Oh, trust me, Tess, you're on a list. I got you.
All right, good. I know. I told them, we got to get some ladies on there and spice things up.
Oh, we will for sure.
Season 2 or 3 coming up.
Season 2 coming up here, and we're in production phase, so we're working on that.
Nice, very fun. And again, if you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, we would love it if you haven't already. Please like, subscribe, follow us, all that good stuff. We'll be live next Wednesday talking about our own studio. Thanks again. Guess that's it.
Is that a wrap?
Is that all?
Is that all?
We're creating an outro, okay? We're still
getting there.
ironing
That's great.
things out of our new show schedule, and we got to get that outro, so it's like, until next time, boom, and then it's like,
Yeah, get a catchy phrase.
oh, I need to. I normally do hope to see you in the chat, but it's like I'm already here. I put that in like all my emails and my social stuff for live stuff. I gotta think of a new phrase, like until next time or something. Or thank you, neighbor.
Yeah, it's gotta be flashy. It's gotta be really on
Flashy.
point.
Yeah, with a sound effect maybe too.
Ooh, yeah, I like that idea.
All right. Check you later.
Right. Cool. Hey.